Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to go through a video on basically the way I've used the AlgoPro and what's worked for me. And the thing that I keep seeing people doing is they're making it way too complicated. So I think you guys that are just starting out will probably find this strategy for day trading really simple and easy to follow. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention a webinar that's coming up on Thursday. So Thursday, June 13th, 3 days from now. There is a webinar from a guy I know quite well. He actually lives very close to me, a guy called Marcus Heitkotter. And he has got a special guest coming on as well to talk about how they've come up with this strategy where they turned 4,000 into 12,000 in just 30 days. And it's a live training. So I would leave the link below for you guys to sign up. And definitely check it out. Just register at the link below. I'll make sure you guys have this link and you can go to the webinar on Thursday. Even if you can't make Thursday, there'll be a replay probably the next day or so. So it's worth registering so you get that link as well. So definitely check that out. Anyway, let's get started. So I think the number one problem I see with people starting out with AlgoPro is they overcomplicate things. And that's not been helped by the fact that Algo version 1.3 is extremely powerful, and you can substitute the word powerful for complex. So what I wanted to do today is to reiterate a strategy that I've talked about before on this channel, and a lot of the guys I know that are in my discords and things have used successfully, and it just works, and it's really, really simple. There's just one parameter to change and a couple of things to keep in mind. So let's get started. So what you're looking at now on the screen is version 1.2. You can use it on other versions. I just want to make this video simple. Version 1.2, nothing complicated. The menu for 1.2 is very simple, and some people would disagree with me on this and say, well, you need lots of confluence and things, but this is basically all I do. What I do is I look back to recent times. So you want to find a time when the market is behaving in a similar fashion than it is now. So you want to optimize the buy-sell signals with just using this one parameter, which is the algo multiplier. This is what I found to work the best. So when you change this, you can see if you go down all the way to 1, wow, you can go down to 0.1, I didn't even know that. Obviously, this is a total mess. So at the moment, we're on the 5 minute, and you're going to get a ton of signals, but they're going to fake you out, most of them, right? So what you want to do is you want to find your time frame. I found a 3 or 5 minute on SPY to work really well, so just SPY, 5 minute in this case. And you want to change this number until the market looks like, from a similar market. So basically don't go back a year to do this. Do it within a few days or so of when you're planning to trade. So this needs adjusted on a regular basis. It's not a number that you can just keep and never change. And there's a few other caveats to that as well. So for here, you can see if I put 4, the sell starts to get more optimized. Ultimately, you'd want the sell up here. But as you go down, you'll see what happens is more fake signals start to come in. Well, not actually when you go down. This is more optimized. When you go up, more fake signals come in. And I can't get the sell to be right at the top, but now I've got some really good signals. Sure, there's a kind of fake out here, but we've got a good buy. It's very close to the bottom here. We've got a good sell. It's close to the top. A good buy. It's close to the bottom. There's a sell here that would have maybe have hit target profit number 1. And this is something that I'll also talk about as well. But basically, this is how I optimize. Very, very simple. I don't touch any of the other things on here whatsoever. You can change the take profit and have a stop loss and things. Honestly, I don't even use those. What I do is I just set a 10% to 20% profit goal and a 10% stop loss. This strategy I found has a winning rate of about 85 to 90% if you're careful and enter carefully once the candles have closed. So it's really that simple. And a couple of things to remember though: if you change this time frame, you then have to change this multiplier. If the market changes and starts, behaving very erratically, then you might want to just sit it out. It's something that a lot of people say. It's like, oh, it doesn't work in a trending, it only works in a trending market. That's true to some point. So you might want to sit it out if the market's kind of going sideways. The signals are not going to be as strong. But it's as simple as that, and I think people are overwhelmed sometimes with AlgoPro, especially with version 1.3. But this is a really simple strategy you can do on the 3 minute or the 5 minute. You can see these hold lengths are not that long, maybe an hour. These are 5 minute candles, remember? So if we zoom in on this one, so we just kind of zoom in. The sell would have been how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20. Yeah, but 30 candles or so. And you can change this, of course, like I said, you can make these trades much faster if you want by changing that multiplier. So yeah, just change this and you'll get less trades. I always get this the wrong way, but you'll see what happens as we change it. So there we go. So you can start to see it's not optimized as much. And of course, if we go down, you can see it's more optimized here. So yeah, so that's all I do. I don't worry about all the other stuff. Sometimes I'll look at the trend, like see the trend line we have here. A buy when it's bouncing off of that will be more likely to be successful. The sells here, less likely to be successful if we're in an uptrend, which we are according to this trend line right here. So that's about the only confluence I add to this. It works on all different time frames. I found the 3 and 5 minute on SPY to be my favorites. One thing that, you know, a lot of people probably don't realize is that the longer time frames are always going to work better than the shorter time frames because you take out that noise. So you can easily set this to daily and it'll look really, really good. But on the shorter time frames, it's a little bit more mixed. So that's my really simple SPY strategy, day trading. If you do this properly, and just make sure you wait till the candles close, make sure you set the multiplier just right, I think you'll be pretty happy with the results you get from AlgoPro. You can then go and start adding in more confluence if you want. Like I said, you can use the trend line as a bounce off the trend line, for example, or even start using your own technicals on top of this. Maybe, you know, whatever else you use. But you don't really need to get that complex with it, in my opinion. You can use version 1.3 as well to do this, but I just stick with 1.2. You have lots of versions to choose from. Pick the one you find to be the most useful for you. And you can see here, for example, like the trend line itself is really simple. Like when you get a sell above the trend line, it's really not really going to work too well, right? And it doesn't. It failed here. Same with this sell was above the trend line. This buy, when it was above the trend line, worked really well. So it's not always the case. Like obviously you get a sell here, and it's well above the trend line. But it's just basically this works on SPY really well. It also worked, I was looking at GME recently. I did a video on that the other day, so check that one out if you can. And this works really well, so give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I know that most people that are following this simple strategy with it are doing well. I trade options on it, so I'll take 0 DTE or 1 DTE options and just look for 10-15%. And just run for the hills after that. So you can do that a couple times a day, and it's worked out really well for me. And yeah, hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.